What's up, guys? I'm here to tell you about video games, their benefits, and a little bit of history with them as well. Did you know that people who play video games have improved coordination, improved memory, and improved brain speed? Today I will be talking about the benefits of video games, where they came from, and how they affect us today. I have been playing video games for around 8 years now, and have had first-hand experience with the benefits of video games. And I've also done extensive research on the benefits as well as the history of video games. Video games have become a staple in our society today, and there are a lot of benefits as well as history that comes with playing video games. So to start off, I will begin to talk about a brief history of video games. The first video game was created in October 1958 by physicist William Higginbottom, and he created a game that was very similar to the game Pong that was very popular in the 1970s. Video games continued to rise in the scientific community in the early 1960s when students and professors would play games such as 3D Tic-Tac-Toe and Moon Landing. These games were made possible by what are known as punch cards, and punch cards were a very stiff paper that can contain code which is represented by holes in the paper. This is a very early version of video games and was played on computers that were as big as televisions today. Video games did not really reach the world and become popular until the 1970s and 1980s. This was the time when video games became much more available to people, and you do not have to have a computer to play on them like before. This was the time period when the use of joysticks and handheld devices were marketed to people like you and me for a sale by a company called Atari. There was also the invention of arcades, which drew people in to start playing video games as well. The arcade was mostly popular from 1978 to 1982 and had many popular games such as Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, Galaga, Donkey Kong, and Frogger, just to name a few. Video games evolved further from 8-bit games in the late 80s to 16-bit games, which led to 32-bit games and 64-bit games in the late 90s. This then led to the creation of mobile games, or games on your phone, in the early 2000s. Nintendo released the Wii, which marketed games towards families in the early 2000s, so everyone in the household could play. And the first Xbox and PlayStation were also released in late 2001, which led to many different types of games being created, such as shooters, role-playing games, and story-driven games. Video games have only grown larger with many different streaming platforms that are now present, such as Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and Facebook Gaming. With these, people are able to watch their favorite video game personalities live. YouTube has also driven video games to the next level, with people being able to watch videos of their favorite content creators play their favorite video games. Video games have had a long history and are only growing more popular throughout time, and in one way or another, we are all gamers. Now that we have covered a brief history of video games, let's move on to the benefits and why it is good that we play them. Video games are generally considered bad things by parents, and some do not even let their children play at all. These parents could not be any more wrong. Video games have had many benefits, such as improving coordination, enhancing problem-solving skills, enhancing multitasking skills, and improving social skills. For starters, let's talk about the coordination aspect. When playing video games, you are staring at your screen, moving your fingers and thumbs, and also listening for audio that will tell you if an enemy is nearby or whatever have you. You're moving all of these things together, which is helping your coordination improve. And with practice playing a certain game, you get better and better with these aspects, causing your coordination to improve. Video games enhance your problem-solving skills by causing you to make many decisions throughout the game that can both be minor, such as how to approach a fight, or major, such as saving one character or the other in a game. These are two types of decisions that will both help you critically think and help you realize that whatever action you do or choose will have a consequence for it. And you may be punished in the end, so you need to make your decision wisely, otherwise it may cost you. Your multitasking skills in video games are very important, and if you cannot handle a lot of information at once, it may be the end for you and your team. Games like Call of Duty help you develop multitasking skills a lot by making you take note of many things that are going on around you and how you should react to them. In this game, there is a game mode called Search and Destroy, which has one team plant the bomb that will go off in a certain amount of time if the other team does not defuse it. And the other team's job is to make sure the bomb doesn't get planted or to defuse it if it does. With this, you must be aware of your surrounding at all times, because in this game mode, you and your teammates only have one life. You need to pay attention to a lot of things that are at once, including your team, how many of them are alive, if there are people around you, how many people are alive on the opposing team, how much ammo you have, and what to do if the bomb has been planted or not. This is a lot of information to take in, and your brain is constantly trying to make you keep track of all of these factors that are going on at once. This is multitasking at its finest, and with time it will get better. Video games do also improve your social skills because you're always on talking to your friends or talking to people you've never met before. And in fact, most of my friends on my Xbox are people that I don't even know, but I do consider to be my closest friends. All in all, video games are a great tool to have because they help you with many things. So today we learned about video games, how they benefit you, and a little bit of history. And knowing what you now know, I hope you consider playing video games more than you have